Ryan boards a middle-seat economy flight wearing a coat that doesn't fit and carrying a Goodwill duffel bag. He's returning to Millbrook after 4 years of silence, but his family doesn't know the man in thrift store clothes is worth millions. His father is dying. His brother thinks he's a failure. His mother paid him $300 to mow the lawn. What they don't know is that this isn't rock bottom. It's a test, and the results will change everything. Welcome. May you find the courage to return to the places that shaped you, and may the people you love see you for who you truly are, not for what you carry in your hands, but for what you hold in your heart. Before we begin, if you're finding value in stories that dig deep into what really matters, show some love by hitting that like button and subscribing to Stay Connected. Drop a comment below and let us know where you're watching from. We love hearing from you across the globe. Now let's step into Ryan's world and see what happens when a millionaire comes home pretending to have nothing. The coat doesn't fit anymore. Ryan pulls at the frayed cuffs, feels the synthetic lining catch against his watch, the cheap one, battery ticking audibly in the airport bathroom. He'd bought it yesterday at a gas station. $49. The leather band already left a green mark on his wrist. He leaves the watch on. The duffel bag sits on the sink counter. Canvas, not leather. Goodwill tag still visible on the zipper pull. Inside, 2 shirts, jeans with someone else's wear pattern in the knees, a toothbrush still in plastic packaging. He'd packed it himself in a hotel room, removed every item that felt too new, too deliberate. His phone, the real one, sits in a safety deposit box 3 states away. The burner phone in his pocket weighs nothing. He picks up the duffel. The strap cuts into his shoulder, wrong. He keeps it there. Outside the bathroom, the terminal moves around him. He walks slower than he needs to. His gate was 20 minutes ago. The flight to Millbrook leaves in 18 minutes. He hasn't been home in 4 years. The ticket is middle seat, economy. He typed in his old address manually when he booked it. Watched his finger hesitate over the confirm purchase button. He'd confirmed it anyway. At the gate, the attendant barely looks at his boarding pass. Cutting it close. Ryan nods, doesn't apologize. The jetway smells like recirculated air and fuel. His shoes squeak on the rubber flooring. He counts the rows as he walks down the aisle. 14, 15, 16. A woman already sits in the window seat. She's pulled her knees up, earbuds in, pretending she doesn't see him coming. He stops. She doesn't move. Excuse me. She shifts her legs barely an inch. He has to angle sideways to get past, his bag catching on the headrest, the armrest, her foot. When he finally drops into the middle seat, his knees hit the seat in front of him. The woman puts her knees back up. Ryan keeps his duffel on his lap. It smells like the thrift store, dust and fabric softener and someone else's life. The plane fills slowly. A businessman takes the aisle seat, already on his phone, tie loosened. He glances at Ryan's coat, the one that doesn't fit, and shifts slightly toward the aisle. The flight attendant's voice crackles through the speakers. Safety demonstration. Exits. Flotation devices. Ryan watches the businessman ignore all of it. The plane pushes back from the gate. His mother doesn't know he's coming. He'd called the house line 3 days ago. Middle of the afternoon. Let it ring 8 times. No answer. He'd called again that night. Same thing. He'd called his brother's number next. 2 rings, then voicemail. His brother's voice, quick and distracted. Leave it. Ryan didn't leave it. He'd sat in that hotel room for 20 minutes after, staring at the contact list on his phone. 12 names. 11 of them work contacts. 1 of them his brother. He'd deleted the call log. Then he'd driven to Goodwill. The plane levels out. The seatbelt sign stays on. Ryan doesn't try to sleep. He keeps the duffel on his lap, both hands around the strap, and watches the businessman next to him order a drink. $7 for vodka in a plastic cup. The businessman doesn't offer to buy him one. The flight takes 90 minutes. When they land, Ryan waits until everyone else has left before standing. His knees ache from the cramped position. The woman in the window seat is already gone. He shoulders the duffel and walks up the aisle. Millbrook Regional Airport hasn't changed. Same brown carpet, same vending machines, same baggage claim with the broken carousel. He doesn't go to baggage claim. He walks straight through, out the sliding doors, into late afternoon heat. The taxi line is empty. He walks past it. The bus stop is across the parking lot. A bench with peeling paint and a schedule behind scratched plastic. Next bus in 40 minutes. Ryan sits. A woman joins him after 10 minutes. She's carrying shopping bags, phone pressed to her ear. Her voice is loud. No, I told him Tuesday. Tuesday. I don't know why he... Hold on. She glances at Ryan, then shifts down the bench. He doesn't look at her. The bus arrives 12 minutes late. Ryan climbs on, feeds cash into the slot. The driver doesn't make change. He takes a seat near the back, by the window, duffel on the floor between his feet. The bus moves through streets he used to know, past the mall, half the storefronts empty now, past the high school, new paint, same chain-link fence, past the turnoff to the country club where his father used to play golf every Sunday. Ryan looks away from that one. The subdivision appears 20 minutes later. Oakmont Estates. The sign at the entrance is smaller than he remembered. The stone pillars flanking it have cracks running through the mortar. He pulls the cord. The bus stops a block past the entrance. Ryan steps off, feels the heat rise from the asphalt. The driver pulls away without looking back. Ryan walks. The streets curve in familiar patterns. Oak Bend Court, Willow Ridge Lane. Houses sit back from the road, lawns edged and trimmed, driveways with SUVs and sedans that are 3, maybe 4 years old. Not new, not old, comfortable. He passes the Hendersons' house, the Patels, the Rogerses. Names come back without effort. He'd mowed some of these lawns when he was 16, $20 a yard. His street appears at the next turn, Cypress Point Drive. The house is 4th on the left, red brick, white trim, 2-car garage. The mailbox at the end of the driveway has his father's name on it. Painted letters faded by sun and weather. Ryan stops at the end of the driveway. A car sits in front of the garage. Sedan, dark blue, dealer plate still visible in the rear window. Someone bought it recently. The front door is closed. He walks up the driveway, cracked concrete under his shoes. The grass needs cutting. It's ankle-high along the fence line, brown patches spreading under the oak tree his father planted the year Ryan was born. He stops at the front door. There's no doorbell. There used to be. He can see the screw holes where it was mounted. He knocks. Nothing. He knocks again, harder. Footsteps inside. Quick, light. The door opens. A girl stands there. 16, maybe 17. Dark hair pulled back, phone in one hand, earbud cord trailing down her shirt. She looks at him without recognition. Yeah? Ryan's throat is dry. Is Patricia home? The girl's expression doesn't change. Who's asking? He stops, adjusts the duffel strap. I'm her son. The girl stares at him. Then she turns, shouts into the house. Mom, some guy says he's your son. She doesn't move from the doorway. Ryan can hear voices inside, a woman's voice, sharp and irritated. Then footsteps, heavier this time. His mother appears behind the girl, Patricia, 58 years old, gray in her hair now, more than before, lines around her eyes. She's wearing a cardigan over a t-shirt, jeans with an elastic waistband. Reading glasses hang from a chain around her neck. She looks at Ryan. Her face doesn't change. Ryan, not a question, just his name. Hi, Mom. The girl, his sister, he realizes, though she was 12 when he left, looks between them. Patricia doesn't move from behind her. What are you doing here? Ryan shifts the duffel to his other shoulder. I came to visit. You didn't call. I tried. No one answered. Patricia's mouth tightens. We've been busy. The girl is still watching him. Her phone buzzes in her hand. She glances at it, then back at him. Are you going to let me in? Ryan asks. Patricia hesitates, just for a second. Then she steps back, hand on the girl's shoulder, guiding her aside. Come in. Ryan steps over the threshold. The house smells the same. Coffee and vanilla candles and the faint chemical smell of carpet cleaner. The entryway opens to the living room on the right, the stairs straight ahead. Family photos line the wall going up. He can see his own face in a few of them. High school graduation, college acceptance. All of them at least 4 years old. Patricia closes the door behind him. You can put your bag down. Ryan sets the duffel by the stairs. When he straightens, Patricia is looking at his coat. That's what you're wearing? He doesn't answer. The girl has moved to the couch, phone out, typing. She's not pretending to ignore him anymore. She's actually ignoring him. Sarah, Patricia says, go upstairs. I'm texting Dad. Upstairs, now. Sarah rolls her eyes but stands. She walks past Ryan without looking at him, climbs the stairs. Her door closes a moment later. Patricia crosses her arms. You look terrible. Ryan almost smiles. Thanks. I'm serious. What happened to you? Nothing happened. You show up without calling, wearing, she gestures at his coat. That. With one bag. No warning. What am I supposed to think? I wanted to see you. After 4 years. Yeah, Patricia's jaw works. She turns, walks into the kitchen. Ryan follows. The kitchen is smaller than he remembered. Or maybe he's just bigger now. The table is the same. 4 chairs, one of them with a loose back leg that wobbles when you sit. His father never fixed it. Patricia fills the kettle, sets it on the stove. She doesn't ask if he wants tea. Your brother's coming by later, she says. He'll want to see you. Ryan doubts that, but he doesn't say it. Patricia turns, leans against the counter. Are you staying? I don't know yet. What does that mean? It means I don't know. The kettle starts to hiss. Patricia doesn't move. Where have you been? She asks. Around. That's not an answer. I've been working. Doing what? Ryan pulls out one of the chairs, the one that wobbles. He sits. Freelance stuff. Consulting. Patricia's expression flattens. Consulting? Yeah. And that's going well? He looks at her. Does it look like it's going well? Patricia's mouth opens, closes. She turns back to the stove, lifts the kettle before it whistles. She makes 2 cups of tea, sets one in front of him. Earl Grey, too hot to drink yet. She sits across from him. Your father's sick, she says. Ryan's hand stops halfway to the cup. What? He's sick. Has been for 6 months. The kitchen is too quiet. Ryan can hear the refrigerator humming, the clock on the wall ticking. What kind of sick? The kind that doesn't get better. Ryan sets his hand on the table, flat. Mom. Pancreatic cancer. Stage 4. They gave him a year. That was 5 months ago. He can't feel his fingers. Why didn't you tell me? How? Patricia's voice is sharp now. You changed your number. You didn't leave a forwarding address. We had no way to reach you. You could have what? Hired a private investigator. Your father didn't want that. He said if you wanted to know, you'd call. Ryan's tea is too hot. He drinks it anyway, burns his tongue. Where is he? Upstairs, resting. Can I see him? Patricia's face softens slightly, just slightly. Later. Let him sleep. Ryan nods. He doesn't know what else to do. They sit in silence. The tea cools. Outside, a dog barks. A car drives past. Patricia stands, takes her cup to the sink. She rinses it, sets it in the dish rack. When she turns back, her expression is controlled again. You can stay in your old room. Sarah's using it now, but she can move her stuff. I don't want to. She'll move it. It's fine. Ryan doesn't argue. Patricia walks to the doorway, stops. Your brother gets here at 6. We eat at 6:30. If you're staying, you help with dinner. Okay. She leaves. Ryan sits alone in the kitchen. His tea is lukewarm now. He drinks it anyway, all of it, then takes the cup to the sink. Rinses it like his mother did, sets it in the dish rack next to hers. Upstairs, a door opens. Footsteps. Sarah's voice, muffled on the phone. Ryan picks up his duffel and climbs the stairs. His old room is at the end of the hall. The door is half open. Inside, the walls are a different color, pale purple instead of blue. Posters cover the space where his bookshelf used to be, bands he doesn't recognize. Actors he's never seen. Sarah's stuff is everywhere, clothes on the floor, laptop on the desk, backpack spilling notebooks and pens. Ryan sets his duffel by the closet. He doesn't unpack. The bed is the same, full-size wooden frame. He sits on the edge. The mattress dips the same way it always did. Through the wall, he can hear water running. Someone in the bathroom. He lies back, stares at the ceiling. There used to be glow-in-the-dark stars up there. He'd put them up when he was 10. They're gone now. He closes his eyes. Doesn't sleep. At 6:15, the front door opens. Ryan hears it from upstairs. Hears his mother's voice, low and urgent. Then another voice, deeper, his brother. Ryan stands, smooths his shirt, the cheap one from Goodwill, wrinkled from being in the duffel. He walks downstairs. His brother is in the living room. Tall, broader than Ryan remembered, wearing a polo shirt and khakis, work badge still clipped to his belt. He's holding a casserole dish wrapped in foil. When he sees Ryan, he stops. Jesus Christ! Patricia's behind him. Thomas. Thomas sets the casserole on the entry table. He doesn't look away from Ryan. What the hell happened to you? Ryan doesn't answer. Thomas walks closer, looks him up and down. You look like shit. Good to see you, too. I'm serious. What? Did you lose your job or something? Patricia makes a sound. Thomas. What? Look at him. Thomas gestures. 4 years, not a word. Then he shows up looking like he's been sleeping in his car. Ryan's jaw tightens. I haven't been sleeping in my car. Could have fooled me. Patricia moves between them. That's enough. Both of you. Thomas doesn't move. He's still staring at Ryan. Does Dad know you're here? Not yet? Great. That'll be fun. Thomas. Patricia's voice is harder now. Go help with dinner. Thomas looks like he wants to say more. Instead, he picks up the casserole, walks to the kitchen. Ryan hears the oven door open, close. Patricia turns to Ryan. He's just worried. Sure. He is. We all are. Ryan doesn't know what to say to that. Sarah appears at the top of the stairs. She's changed clothes. Nicer shirt, hair down. She comes down slowly, watching Ryan. Is dinner ready? Almost, Patricia says. Set the table. Sarah moves past them into the kitchen. Ryan hears her talking to Thomas. Their voices low. Patricia touches Ryan's arm. Come on. They go into the kitchen. Thomas is at the counter slicing bread. Sarah is pulling plates from the cabinet. She sets them on the table. 5 places. Ryan counts them. Is Dad eating with us? Patricia shakes her head. He eats in his room now. Easier that way. Thomas doesn't look up from the bread. More comfortable for him? Ryan wants to ask more. Doesn't. He helps instead. Pulls out silverware, napkins, sets them at each place. The routine comes back automatically. This fork goes here, knife here, napkin folded on the left. When everything is ready, they sit. Patricia serves. Casserole, chicken and rice, salad. The bread Thomas sliced. She fills everyone's plate without asking what they want. No one starts eating until she sits. Then Thomas picks up his fork. The meal is quiet. Silverware on plates, glasses being lifted and set down. Sarah eats quickly, eyes on her phone in her lap under the table. Patricia sees but doesn't say anything. Thomas breaks the silence. So where are you staying? Ryan looks up. Here. Mom said I could. For how long? I don't know yet. You don't know a lot of things, apparently. Patricia sets her fork down. Thomas. I'm just asking. Thomas cuts into his chicken. Seems like something we should know. How long he's planning to... I'll figure it out, Ryan says. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. Thomas's knife scrapes the plate. Convenient. Sarah glances between them. She stopped eating. Ryan puts his fork down. You have something to say to me? Yeah, actually. Thomas leans back in his chair. I think it's pretty convenient that you show up now, after Dad's already sick, after Mom's been dealing with this alone for months. Thomas, stop. Patricia's voice is strained. Why? He needs to hear it. Thomas looks at Ryan. Where were you? When Dad was getting diagnosed? When he was doing chemo? Where the hell were you? Ryan's hands are under the table, fists. I didn't know. Because you didn't bother to check in. Not once. 4 years, Ryan. 4 years of nothing. And now you're back because... What? You need money? A place to crash? That's not why I'm here. Then why are you here? Ryan stands. His chair scrapes loud against the floor. I'm here because he's my father, too. Thomas stands as well. Funny how you remember that now. Patricia is on her feet. Both of you, sit down. Neither of them moves. Sarah's chair screeches as she pushes back. She leaves the table, heads upstairs. Her door slams. Patricia's voice drops. Sit. Down. Ryan sits first. After a moment, Thomas does too. They finish the meal in silence. When Ryan's plate is empty, he takes it to the sink, rinses it, starts washing the others as they're brought over. Thomas doesn't help. He leaves after eating. Just stands, grabs his keys, says goodnight to Patricia. He doesn't say anything to Ryan. The front door closes. Sarah stays upstairs. Ryan finishes the dishes. Patricia dries them, puts them away. When they're done, she hangs the towel on the oven handle. He'll calm down, she says. Ryan doesn't believe her, but he nods anyway. Patricia looks towards the stairs. Your father's awake now, if you want to see him. Ryan's stomach tightens. Okay. Go easy. He gets tired quickly. Ryan dries his hands, follows Patricia upstairs. The master bedroom is at the other end of the hall. The door is open a crack. Patricia knocks softly, pushes it wider. John? Ryan's here. She steps aside. Ryan walks in. The room is dark except for a lamp on the nightstand. It casts yellow light across the bed. His father is propped up on pillows, thinner than Ryan has ever seen him. The skin on his face is loose, gray. His hands rest on top of the blanket, bones visible under the skin. He's wearing pajamas, striped, too big now. He looks at Ryan. doesn't say anything. Ryan stops a few feet from the bed. "Hi, Dad." His father's eyes move over him slowly. The coat, the cheap jeans, the shoes with worn soles. "You look like hell," his father says. His voice is rough, thin. Ryan almost laughs. "So I've heard. Come closer. Can't see you from there." Ryan moves to the bedside. His father's eyes are still sharp. Still his father's eyes. "What happened to you?" his father asks. "Nothing." "I'm fine." "You're not fine. Look at you." Ryan doesn't know what to say. His father shifts slightly, winces. "Your mother said you're staying. If that's okay. It's her house. She decides. It's your house too." His father makes a sound, not quite a laugh. "Not for much longer." The lamp hums. Outside, a car passes. "I'm sorry I didn't visit sooner," Ryan says. His father looks at him for a long moment. Then he closes his eyes. "You're here now." "Yeah, that'll have to do." Ryan doesn't know if that's forgiveness or just exhaustion. Patricia appears in the doorway. "John needs to rest." Ryan nods, steps back. "I'll see you tomorrow." His father doesn't open his eyes. "Sure." Ryan leaves the room. Patricia stays behind, adjusting the blanket, turning off the lamp. When she comes out, she closes the door quietly. "He's glad you're here," she says. Ryan doesn't ask how she knows that. He goes to his room, Sarah's room. He can hear her inside, talking on the phone. He knocks. "What?" He opens the door a crack. "Just wanted to say goodnight." She's on her bed, phone pressed to her ear. She looks at him like he's insane. "Okay?" "Okay." He closes the door, stands in the hallway for a moment. Then he goes into the guest bathroom, brushes his teeth with the toothbrush from his duffel. The mint taste is too strong, the bristles too stiff. When he looks in the mirror, Thomas is right. He does look like shit. He goes back to the room, pulls out a t-shirt and sweatpants from the duffel. Changes. The clothes smell like the thrift store. He lies down on the bed, stares at the ceiling, tries not to count the hours until morning. Ryan wakes to voices. Downstairs, low and urgent. He checks his phone. The burner, 6:47. He sits up, listens. His mother, Thomas, arguing. He gets dressed, same jeans, different shirt, still wrinkled. When he comes downstairs, they're in the kitchen. Patricia at the table, Thomas standing near the sink. They stop talking when they see him. "Morning," Ryan says. Thomas doesn't respond, just looks at Patricia, then back at Ryan. Patricia stands. "Coffee?" "Sure." She pours him a cup. Black. He used to take cream and sugar. She doesn't ask. Thomas is still standing. "I have to get to work." "Okay," Patricia says. Thomas grabs his keys from the counter, stops at the doorway, looks at Ryan. "We're not done talking." "I know." Thomas leaves. The front door closes. His car starts. Pulls away. Patricia sits back down. She looks tired. More tired than yesterday. "He's just processing," she says. Ryan drinks his coffee. It's too hot, but he doesn't care. "I'm looking for work," he says. "I can help with bills, groceries, whatever you need." Patricia's face shifts, something like relief. "You don't have to. I want to." She nods slowly. "Okay." "What do you need?" she thinks. The lawn needs mowing. The gutters should be cleaned before fall. The back fence has a section that's loose. "I can do that." "And your father needs help sometimes. Getting to the bathroom, getting dressed. Thomas does it when he's here, but I'll help." Patricia's eyes water slightly. She blinks it away. "Thank you." Ryan finishes his coffee, sets the cup in the sink. "I'll start with the lawn." The garage is the same. Tools on pegboards, lawnmower in the corner, covered in dust. Ryan pulls it out, checks the gas, nearly empty. He finds a gas can on the shelf, also nearly empty. He goes back inside. Do you have cash for gas? Patricia's doing dishes. She dries her hands, goes to her purse, pulls out a 20. Ryan takes it. I'll be back. The gas station is a mile away. Ryan walks. The morning is already warm, sun high and bright. He passes houses with sprinklers running, people getting into cars for work. No one recognizes him. At the gas station, he fills the can. The clerk is a kid, maybe 19. He doesn't look at Ryan twice. Ryan walks back, pours the gas into the mower, pulls the cord. It starts on the third try. The lawn takes 2 hours. The grass is thick, resists the blades. Clippings stick to his shoes, his jeans. Sweat soaks through his shirt. He has to empty the bag 6 times. When he's done, the yard looks better. Not perfect, but better. He puts the mower away, goes inside. Patricia's upstairs. He can hear her voice, soft, talking to his father. Ryan goes to the kitchen, drinks water straight from the tap. 3 glasses. Sarah comes downstairs. She's in pajamas, hair messy. She looks at him. You mowed the lawn. Yeah? Why? It needed it. She opens the fridge, pulls out orange juice, drinks from the carton. Patricia would yell at her for that, but Patricia's not here. Mom says you're broke, Sarah says. Ryan leans against the counter. Mom said that? I heard her and Thomas talking. What else did you hear? Sarah shrugs. That you haven't had a job in like a year, that you probably got fired or something. Ryan doesn't correct her. Sarah closes the fridge. Are you going to ask us for money? No. Thomas thinks you are. Thomas thinks a lot of things. Sarah almost smiles. Almost. Then she takes her juice and goes back upstairs. Ryan stands alone in the kitchen. He thinks about the money in his account. The real account. The one he's not touching. 7 figures. More than enough to cover every bill, every medical expense, every mortgage payment for the next 10 years. He doesn't touch it. The days settle into a pattern. Ryan wakes early, makes coffee, sits in the kitchen until Patricia comes down. Sometimes they talk, sometimes they don't. He does the work she gives him, fixes the fence, cleans the gutters, repaints the trim on the front porch. Small things. Things his father would have done. Thomas visits 3 times a week. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. He brings groceries, checks on their father, talks to Patricia about bills, medical appointments, insurance claims. He mostly ignores Ryan. When they do talk, it's clipped. Functional. Did you fix the porch light? Yeah. About time. Sarah is easier. She ignores him at first, then slowly starts acknowledging his presence, asking questions. Do you know how to change a bike tire? Yeah. Can you show me? Sure. He shows her in the garage. She watches, doesn't ask more questions. When he's done, she rides off without saying thanks. He doesn't mind. At night, Ryan helps with his father, helps him to the bathroom, helps him change. The first time, his father waves him off. I can do it myself. But he can't. Not really. After a few tries, he gives up. Lets Ryan help. They don't talk during it. Ryan learned quickly his father doesn't want conversation. He wants efficiency. Dignity. Whatever's left of it. One night, after getting his father back to bed, Patricia stops Ryan in the hallway. Thank you, she says. It's fine. It's not. But thank you anyway. Ryan goes to his room, lies down, stares at the ceiling. He thinks about calling someone, telling them where he is, what he's doing. He doesn't. 3 weeks in, Patricia hands him an envelope. What's this? For the work you've been doing. Ryan opens it. $300? Cash. Mom, I can't. You can and you will. You've been working. This is payment. I'm not doing this for money. I know. Take it anyway. Ryan looks at the bills, then at his mother. He takes it. That afternoon, he walks to the grocery store, uses the cash to buy food, real food, steak, vegetables, bread from the bakery section. Things he knows his mother likes but won't buy because they're too expensive. When he gets home, Thomas is there. Thomas sees the bags. What's that? Groceries. Where'd you get money for groceries? Mom paid me. Thomas's face hardens. She paid you? For the work I've been doing. The work you should be doing anyway. Ryan sets the bags on the counter. I'm not fighting with you. No, you're just taking money from her while she's struggling. Thomas, Patricia appears in the doorway. I gave it to him. He earned it. She shouldn't have to pay you to help, Thomas says, still looking at Ryan. I didn't ask for it. But you took it. Ryan's jaw tightens. Yeah, I did. Thomas shakes his head, grabs his keys. Unbelievable. He leaves. Patricia sighs, starts unpacking the groceries. Ryan helps her. He'll come around, she says. Ryan doesn't answer. 4 weeks in, his father gets worse. It happens fast. One day he's eating in his room, watching TV. The next day he's barely conscious. Patricia calls hospice. They send a nurse. She's kind, efficient, sets up equipment, explains what to expect. Patricia listens, takes notes. Her hand shakes while she writes. Thomas comes by every day now, sometimes twice. He and Patricia take shifts sitting with their father. Ryan offers to help. We've got it, Thomas says. But 2 nights later, Patricia falls asleep in the chair beside the bed. Thomas is at work. Sarah is at a friend's house. Ryan sits with his father. His father's breathing is shallow, rattling. The nurse said that was normal, that it would get worse. Ryan watches the clock, watches his father. At some point, his father's eyes open. He looks at Ryan. You're still here, his father says. His voice is barely there. Yeah. Thought you'd leave by now. I'm not leaving. His father's mouth moves. Might be a smile, might be pain. Good. He closes his eyes again. Ryan stays until Patricia wakes up. She sits up, disoriented. What time is it? 3. She looks at their father. Has he? He woke up for a minute, went back to sleep. Patricia nods, stands, stretches. Go get some rest. Ryan goes to his room, lies down fully clothed, sleeps for 2 hours. His father dies on a Thursday. Ryan is mowing the lawn when Patricia comes out. He sees her face and kills the engine. She doesn't have to say it. He goes inside. Thomas is already there. He's on the phone with the hospice nurse. Sarah is on the couch crying quietly. Ryan goes upstairs. His father looks smaller. Like all the life that was holding him together just let go. Patricia is sitting beside the bed. She's not crying, just staring. Ryan stands in the doorway. I'm sorry, he says. Patricia nods, doesn't look at him. Ryan goes back downstairs. The hospice nurse arrives 20 minutes later. Then the funeral home. They ask questions. Patricia answers them. Thomas helps. Ryan stays out of the way. By evening, the house is empty again except for the 4 of them. No one knows what to do. Patricia makes sandwiches no one eats. Sarah goes to her room. Thomas sits in the living room staring at nothing. Ryan goes outside, sits on the porch, watches the sunset. At some point, Thomas comes out, sits on the step below Ryan. They don't talk for a while. Then Thomas says, he asked about you. Toward the end, Ryan looks at him. He wanted to know if you were okay, Thomas says. If you had a place to stay, a job. I told him I didn't know. Ryan doesn't say anything. I should have been nicer, Thomas says. You were here. That's what mattered. It's fine. It's not. Thomas looks at him. I'm sorry. Ryan nods. They sit until it's dark. The funeral is small. Family. A few of their father's old co-workers, some neighbors. Patricia holds it together. Sarah doesn't. Thomas speaks during the service, talks about their father's work ethic, his dedication, his love for his family. Ryan doesn't speak. Afterward, people come to the house. They bring food, offer condolences. Patricia smiles, thanks them, doesn't eat anything. Ryan stays in the kitchen making coffee, washing dishes. A woman approaches him, older, familiar face. You're Patricia's son. Ryan. Yeah. I'm Carol, from down the street. I just wanted to say, your mother's been so strong through all this, and you've been such a help to her. Ryan doesn't know what to say to that. Carol continues. She told me you've been doing work around the house, that you've been here every day. That means so much. Ryan nods. Carol smiles. She's lucky to have you. She moves on to talk to someone else. Ryan goes back to the dishes. Later, after everyone leaves, Patricia sits at the kitchen table. Thomas and Sarah have gone to bed. Ryan sits across from her. Thank you, she says. For what? For being here. Ryan looks at his hands. I should have been here sooner. You're here now. That's enough. They sit in silence. Then Patricia says, I need to tell you something. Ryan looks up. Your father knew, she says. Knew what? Who you are. What you've been doing. Ryan goes still. He knew about the company. The money. Everything. Patricia's voice is calm. He knew before he got sick. How? Someone from your company called here last year, looking for you. Your father answered. He asked questions. Ryan's chest tightens. He didn't tell me until after he was diagnosed, Patricia says. He made me promise not to tell you. He wanted to see... She stops, starts again. He wanted to see if you'd come back anyway. Ryan can't breathe. When you showed up, Patricia continues, dressed like that with nothing, he knew what you were doing. He told me not to say anything. To let you do it. Why? Patricia's eyes are wet now. Because he wanted to know if you remembered who you were. If you still cared about us even when we thought you had nothing. Ryan stands, walks to the sink, grips the edge. Thomas doesn't know, Patricia says. Sarah doesn't know. Just me and your father. And you let me, Ryan's voice cracks. You let me keep pretending. Your father wanted it. He said if you stayed, if you helped, if you did all of this thinking we believed you were broke, then it meant something. Ryan turns. What did it mean? Patricia stands, walks to him. That you came back for us. Not to show off what you'd accomplished, not to prove anything, just to be with us. Ryan's throat is tight. He was proud of you, Patricia says. Not because of the money, because you came home. She leaves him in the kitchen. Ryan stands there for a long time. Then he goes upstairs, to his room, closes the door. He sits on the bed. Thinks about his father, about the test he didn't know he was taking, about passing it. The next morning, Ryan tells Thomas. They're in the garage. Thomas is loading boxes into his car. Ryan stops him. I need to tell you something. Thomas sets down the box. Okay? Ryan takes a breath. I'm not broke. Thomas stares at him. I own a tech company. We sold it last year. I have money, a lot of it. Thomas doesn't move. The reason I came back looking like this, I wanted to see how you'd all treat me if you thought I had nothing. Thomas's face goes through several emotions, confusion, anger, disbelief. You're joking. I'm not. This whole time, Thomas steps closer. You've been lying to us? I wasn't lying. I just wasn't telling you everything. That's the same thing. Thomas's voice is rising. You let us think. You let Mom give you money. You let me think you were a failure. I needed to know. Know what? If you'd still care about me. Thomas laughs. It's not a kind sound. Are you serious? You tested us? Ryan doesn't answer. That's insane. Thomas shakes his head. What kind of person does that? Dad knew, Ryan says quietly. Mom knew. They didn't tell you because Dad wanted to see if I'd stay anyway. Thomas goes still. Dad knew? Yeah. Thomas looks away. His jaw works. So this was, what? Some kind of lesson? I guess. Thomas is quiet for a long time. Then he says, Did you learn what you wanted to learn? Ryan thinks about the last month. The work, the dinners, the nights sitting with his father. Yeah, he says. Thomas picks up the box again. I need some time. Okay. Thomas loads the box into his car, slams the trunk, drives away without another word. Ryan stands in the driveway, knows he deserves that. Over the next week, things shift. Thomas comes by, still angry but less so. They talk in short bursts, functional, careful. Ryan tells him the truth about everything, the company, the sale, where he's been. Thomas listens, doesn't forgive. Not yet. But he's there. Sarah figures it out on her own. She Googles him one night, finds articles, pictures of him in suits at conferences. She comes downstairs, finds Ryan in the kitchen. You're rich. Ryan looks up from his coffee. Yeah? Like, really rich. Yeah. She sits down, stares at him. So the coat, the crappy phone, all of it was fake. The coat was real, just not mine. Sarah shakes her head. This is so weird. I know. Why'd you do it? Ryan sets down his coffee. I wanted to know if you'd care about me, even if I had nothing. That's messed up. I know. Sarah is quiet. Then she says, For the record, I didn't care about you either way. I didn't even know you. Ryan almost laughs. Fair. But now that you're back and you helped Mom and you were here when Dad, she stops, clears her throat. I think you're okay. Thanks. She stands. You're still weird, though. I know. She goes back upstairs. Ryan finishes his coffee. Thinks maybe that's the best he could hope for. Patricia sits him down a week later. What are you going to do now? She asks. I don't know, Ryan says. Go back to the city, work, figure it out. You could stay. Ryan looks at her. Here? Why not? The house is paid off. There's room. You could work from here. What about Thomas, Sarah? Thomas will come around. Sarah likes having you here, even if she won't say it. Patricia leans forward. I like having you here. Ryan doesn't know what to say. Think about it, Patricia says. You don't have to decide now. Okay. That night, Ryan walks through the house, the place he grew up, the place he left, the place that let him come back, even when they thought he had nothing. He thinks about the test, about what his father wanted to know. He thinks about the answer. Ryan stays, not forever, but for now. He moves his things from the city, sets up an office in the guest room, works remotely, visits Patricia every day, has dinner with Thomas once a week. They're still working through it, but they're working. Helps Sarah with her homework. Teaches her to change oil in her car. Listens when she complains about school. Slowly, the house feels less like a test. Feels more like home. One evening, Patricia finds him on the porch, the same spot where he sat the night his father died. She sits beside him. Your father would be happy, she says, that you stayed. Ryan looks at her. How do you know? Because I know him, and I know you. She pats his hand. You passed his test. Now stop testing yourself. Ryan smiles, small but real. They sit together as the sun sets. The street is quiet. The lawn is mowed. The house is lit from inside. Ryan thinks about the man he was 4 years ago, the one who left, and the man he is now, the one who came back. Not because he had to, because he wanted to. That, he thinks, is the real answer. If you've made it this far, you've walked with Ryan through the hardest test of his life, not the one his father set, but the one he set for himself. This story isn't about wealth or poverty. It's about the quiet courage it takes to come home when you're not sure you'll be welcomed. It's about the people who stay, who show up, who choose connection over pride. Maybe you've felt that distance from family. Maybe you've wondered if you'd be loved without all the noise stripped away. Maybe you know what it's like to realize too late that time is the one thing you can't buy back. If this story moved you, if it made you think about someone you haven't called, or a place you haven't returned to, or a relationship that needs mending, then share that feeling. Hit subscribe to keep these stories coming. Like this video if Ryan's journey meant something to you. And drop a comment below. Have you ever tested someone's loyalty or had yours tested? What did you learn? We tell these stories because connection matters, because coming home matters, because the people who love you when you have nothing are the ones worth everything. Thanks for being here. Let's keep telling stories that remind us what really matters.